Liverpool has a really rich and varied architectural history. There are loads of great buildings all over the city. Every building has a story to tell. I think my favourite's the old White Star building, or it might be called the Albion building. I'm not really sure of its official name. It's a hotel now, but it used to be the headquarters of the White Star Line shipping company. That was the company that owned the Titanic, and when the Titanic sank in 1912, they read out the terrible news from the balcony. Down below there was a massive crowd. The officials were too afraid to leave the building, so they read out the names of the dead from the balcony. It's just mad to think of all that happening in the street, where now people just walk past every day. The oldest building that survives in the centre of Liverpool is the Blue Coat Chambers. It was built in the early 1700s. It's got an amazing history as an art gallery and cultural space. It was really important in the 1960s as a centre for artists and poets, and in the 1990s it became well known for video art. Nowadays it shows all kinds of exhibitions and live events throughout the year. There are artist workshops in the back and craft stores. Upstairs there's a performance space for dance, drama and poetry. There's also a restaurant, and downstairs there's a cafe that leads into a great little garden, a real little oasis in the middle of a busy city. Around William Brown Street's where the majority of Liverpool's most impressive buildings are. These were mostly built in the Victorian era, but obviously the neoclassical style gives the impression of them being much older. The William Brown Museum and Library now houses the Liverpool Central Library and World Museum. There's also the Picton Library, which was the first electrically lit library in the country. Probably the most impressive building in the whole of Liverpool is St George's Hall. It was built between 1841 and 1854. It was designed by Harvey Lonsdale Elms. He won an architectural competition to build it when he was only 25, but he died of consumption before it was finished, so he never got to see it.